Yes, guys, welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102, the three-man game. A nice update for you. It's been a while since I've done really regular updates on this bad boy, and that's purely because we haven't been playing a lot of late. That being said, we have fired in a few sessions of late, and we are well into season 133. It's crazy. I mean, we've been through this before over the last 9.5 years, where we had stints where we hadn't touched the game for a while for one reason or another. And then, we soon get back on it. We are going to have another stint where we don't touch it for a while because of me, because I'm not going to be online. But I think we'll get one more session in before that happens, which will probably be this weekend. And let me just cast your mind back now then. So I am Manchester City, and I have now reached the top flight to play it with the big guns. Ian at Man United, Pep at Southampton. Of course, another one is definitely Chelsea, my old club. So this is where we are at, season 133. It's been brilliant for me. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's a cross between being brilliant for me and Ian had a real bad run of games of late. I mean, we'll start with Ian's bad run of games. Of course, he's the current reigning champions, Ian. But it wasn't the last session. It was a session before where he had a bit of a shit run, to say the least. He lost at home to Newcastle, followed by home to Brentford. And, anyone that's followed this series from the start, you know that, to lose 2 games in a row can really put you off the mark. I mean, QPR, he slipped up there as well. You've got to also think to yourself, right, the 2 years I've not been Chelsea, they've still finished runners-up, because I've been Man City, and Pep still hasn't broken into that top 2. I mean, look, let me just cast your mind back to the last time Pep at Southampton won the title. It's a long, long time. It's 21-22. So it's 25 years since he last won the title. Of course, I was Chelsea during this time. The only time I wasn't Chelsea, whilst it's all lit, was right here in 21-45. Just to give you a quick recap, I left Chelsea at the end of 21-44 after I won everything. It was a good time to move. So in terms of this season, it's looking really good. I mean, there's still 14 odd league games to go, so still a long, long way to go. And I think we've had some real memorable victories at at Man City, and one of which has to be that. I mean, I thought beating them at home at the very start of the season was great, but that was brilliant, and you couldn't script that shit, because look who scored 2 of the goals. Yeah, you all know him. It's the Falco regen, or the machine, Colombian machine, who just scores goals for fun. Bit of a surprise, that I think, to many, that we managed to pick him up. I was more surprised that Chelsea let him go last season after 6 games and 16 goals. How fucking stupid is that? He was my machine at Chelsea, of course. Last season, as I was in the second tier, did really, really well for me. And I was hoping I'd get one more season out of him, and I will, as you can see. So we are now at the FA Cup stage, or just after the 3rd round. The 4th round draw has been made, and that is where we're at. Man United are going to Brighton, Southampton are entertaining Rotherham, whilst I am going to Norwich or Fleetwood. Meanwhile, the League Cup, well, that's where we're at with the League Cup. It's going to be a second-tier side in the final, as Man City take on Manchester United. I'm trying to remember where Pep bowed out. Man United needed extra time there to win at Wolves. Of course, I knocked Pep out. Of course. Yeah, I knocked Pep out. So Pep was a little bit gutted on that. Let's take a look now then. From my perspective, we're still riding high to retain the UEFA Cup. We won it last season, and we're still riding high as we take on Olympique de Exeter, whoever the fuck they are. I do know we played Villarreal B in the UEFA Cup at one point, which really did make no fucking sense. Let me just check that where that was. I'm sure we played Real Madrid, Villarreal B. I'm pretty sure. Might have been there it is, Villarreal B. I mean, don't ask me. We've not got Spanish League open. It's fucking bullshit, isn't it? It really is bullshit. Some of our notable performances this season, I mean, Sunderland, they've been a strong team. Cardiff have been a strong team, and of course Chelsea. Chelsea are going to be a huge team, and they're going to be contesting all season long, I would imagine, but they've slipped off the mark of late. So we beat Pep in the League Cup, as I said. We beat Pep 3-1 in the league, in a little bit of an ugly game. And we hammered Manchester United in yet another ugly game. You couldn't script some of this shit, could you? You could not script it. I don't know if we played any more of them. We played Man U in the Super Cup because we won the UEFA Cup last season, and Ian's Man U won the Champions League, and we beat them 1-0. Bit undeserved, to be fair. But we've had an absolute remarkable season. And the setup I'm playing is very middleman, as you can see right there. A couple of the marquee signings. We've brought and sold a few. We brought the Ryan Giggs regen, but we've since sold him. He's been shit. Our Colombian's a main man. Lucas, that is a Coutinho regen. He's not really proven to be good enough because our main forward is currently injured. Stepanek. One player who really has done extremely well for us. He was one of my ex-players at Chelsea. Is this guy, Fernando Hasselbank. I say ex-player at Chelsea. We didn't really use him for very long. I'm trying to think now. Then so like 44, 45, 40. Yeah, we bought him. Then we left Chelsea, so I never actually got to use him. But he's been absolutely brilliant for me, as you can see. 17 assists. In terms of, that's one of our former players at Chelsea, Fernando Arias. So very, very well. But there is one particular player that I'm going to show you I've brought. I've been building on my reserves at Man City. And I'm going to show you them very, very quickly. They're not the best in the world, but they are youngsters. Some of them I'm quite excited about how they could flare up. But the best one by far, he's not going to look the best, is definitely Simon Owen. Who is Simon Owen? Because that, we believe, judging by the balance, bravery, flair, that is Gareth Bale. So I'm optimistic that I've got some real solid wingers, for the next few years at least. So, we've really built ourselves. Lazic, I think that's Vidic, regen. Bit of a disciplinary issue, but 759 is not to be sneezed at. He's done really, really well. No doubt about that. Defensive midfield, not very, very happy with my defensive midfielders, to be honest with you. That being said, we have got a Greek guy coming in that we beat Ian to, bizarrely. Whether Ian didn't offer him great terms or what. He don't look brilliant, but he will be arriving. And we've got a few offers in. A few spoilers alert here now if there's any stream sniping people from Pep and Ian. We've got a few players that we've gone for right there. Now I'm going to show you a player, right? If Ian's watching this, he'll possibly look at it as well. A player that both myself and Pep are chasing. I'm happy to just... I do trust the guys. I trust the guys a lot. Where is he? There's a player I want to show you. Get your perspectives on him. Basso, that's him. Look at him. That, we believe, in fact I'm sure, Balance, Bravery, Flair 2012-20 is Neymar regen. I think I've even named it Neymar yet, because I'm pretty sure Ian's not even tracking him. So if Ian suddenly starts tracking him, then we know, don't we? Then we know. But yeah, he's out of contract in 2.5 years, so I don't know. They're being fuckers. They're being absolute fuckers, Sao Paulo. But I'm very, very careful. Let's just have a quick gander now then at my rivals. Let's have a look at Ian first. Ian's best player by far, I think, could be Romelu Lukaku regen. One of my ex-players. He's been solid, hasn't he? 46 goals. He's been brilliant. Now, Barre, that is Ribéry. He beat me to this guy. I located this guy ages ago, and I was the only one. And then Ian suddenly popped up and fucking got him. Needless to say, I was fucking angry. I was bitter. But nevertheless, he's having a solid season for Ian, despite, let's just see if we can see, despite Ian plays him a little bit out of position. But nevertheless, he's performing. He's really performing. Casanova, 12 games, done really well. Certainly done really well. And Cabrera, Yeah, another one. No strike. I mean, he's a striker. So he's done really, really well. Let's go over to Pep. Pep, I mean, there's not much to say about Pep. Excuse me. COVID just won't go. I hate to say this, Pep. There's not much worth screaming about. Memic, I don't think that's Zeko Regen. I think Zeko Regen is someone different, but he's clearly been his best player. Not, you know, I mean, I love Kuhn. You may remember him. I had him at Chelsea. And that was an absolute monster player for Pep to get. Now, I don't know why he's not performing for Pep, because look at him, he looks an absolute monster. But, I mean, for me, this season anyway, he had 7 subs. I don't quite understand that from Pep. Don't quite understand why he only had 17 games over here. Maybe because he bought him late on. I don't know. I mean, but if you look at his first season for me at Chelsea, 886. And it's funny, right? Because I don't often do this, but I had him for a little bit, and I think he was really young, obviously. Then I sent him out on loan. Then I recalled him, and look how well he did for me there, and even at Chelsea, how he was doing before Pep nabbed him. But absolutely solid. Not really anyone else. I mean, Pep got this South Korean, but he actually got him from me on a part exchange deal a season or so back. I got him. Pep was like, oh, he's a decent player. Now, when I'm lower league and Pep or Ian are saying I like that player, then I'm going to try and not cash in, because I've got plenty of money. I'm close over £1 billion or whatever it is. It's not that I'm cashing in, it's that I need to trade him in, really, and try and get some quality in. But now we've got to a stage now where, we're all rivals of each other. Now, with that in mind, right, one of my best players this season, 740, played every game this season. Yes, he's 32. He's a fucking monster of a goalkeeper. Now, just to remind you, I bought him from Pep. Now, truth be told, you could really argue, why the fuck did Pep sell me a number 1 goalkeeper? I didn't even know why Pep was selling him. I mean, I find goalkeepers, a bit like defenders, can go on a little bit older than the average player up the field. So I'm really pleased with him. Now, I gave him a long contract. I may well just retain him. I mean, that's an auto value, 13 million for a 32-year-old. Really, really pleased with him indeed. I mean, that being said, I've got some quality backup goalkeepers. Yeah, we've got some quality goalkeepers in the reserves as a backup. Let me show you another player that I did pick up that I think you may recognise. Although he was 28, 29, recognise him? Yes, of course. There aren't many Ivorians MCs. That is Yaya Toure. He's not really done what I needed him to do. But that being said, the reason being is because Hasselbank has been playing, and I've only got one place in the middle of the park there. So yeah, that is where I'm at. That is where the guys are at, and as I say, we'll probably get a bit of time in on Saturday, maybe even Sunday as well. Hopefully, before I depart from the internet for a bit, sounds really bad, doesn't it? We might get this season concluded. The problem that could be for me and Pep, Man United have always been very free scoring. You know, they score a lot of goals. So if it comes to goal difference, Ian could well could well do it. You know, because he scores a lot of goals all over the shop. Let's have a really, really quick look at that. So Carly Manu, he is the number 1, 31 league goals. Now, Eric Osterberg at Chelsea, you must remember who he is. We're all tracking him, of course we are. That is, of course, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Arias is 3rd, Pep 4th. No one else of interest. So that is goals. Let's have a look for assists. Fernando Arias. I didn't even know that. Along with Ian's Spanish midfielder. That's very, very interesting indeed. But that is league, remember. That is league assists. Okay. And that is it, guys. That is our 3-man game. That is an update on this monster of a game. And as we fast approach now the League Cup semi-final, who's your money on, guys? Who is your money on? Looking at it, Arias He'll be 96%, it looks like, so he will play. In terms of, just really quickly, Arias ain't going to go forever, obviously, but my backup strikers, this Georgian, there's been a Georgian monster striker circulating for years and years, so I think I located what I assume is his regen, and you can see how well he's done for me. I do have what I believe is Lewandowski regen, although he's getting a little bit unhappy. He's got a long contract, so he ain't fucking going nowhere. You can see how well he did for me, but when I brought Arias, it was time for him to move on, or move aside, shall I say. So that's it from me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got anything you want doing on CM, I need to know by the end of this week, guys. By the end of this week, it's Friday, what we're talking about. By the end of Monday, guys. By the end of Monday, I need a list of any player profiles that you may want doing. And until next time from me, guys, take it easy.